Good afternoon. We are pleased to be a part of the 23rd KLIBEL conference. We are here from Pakistan. I am Ahsen. I am a career and business strategist and author and also a writer. And I am with Mr. Ahsen Qazi, who is a profound speaker and certified trainer, and we are both representing here Ahsenqazi International. And we are here to talk about the work environment, company culture, and gamification. The concept is quite new for the world, that how a work environment can be transformed into gamification or fun culture. But actually it's not a very new concept, because world's biggest companies like Google and Virgin are already working on improving their work environment and transforming it into a fun culture. We have already very good understanding that how notoriously the work environment we know about, and especially when we are going to get back to work after this global pandemic has hit the world. This is why we have brought in the very unique and new concept of gamification. And this work environment has always been a very important factor for transforming for the companies like Google and Virgin, who have already been working hard to transform their work environment. And one of the biggest examples we have is Google Plex, that not only gives its employees perks like gourmet meals, laundry, childcare, but also provides gaming environment for the refreshment and rehabilitation towards work for an employee. This is the same culture and this is the same environment that Virgin has also been working from a long time now. One of the greatest examples after Google we can always talk about is the Virgin Group. And the CEO and the owner and the great guy, Richard Branson. Being a part of Virgin Startups once, I was always very proud and happy to see the work environment Virgin has provided to its employees. Not only the employees, but also the entrepreneurs working and trying to bring in new ideas to the world in Virgin Startups. Richard Branson has always been keen to improve every company and make it a fun place. And whenever somebody asks Richard Branson for an advice for a better work environment and more productivity, he would also always say, make it a fun place. And especially after this global pandemic, we have to change the working environment and we have to work to transform into a fun culture, so that employees feel more engaged and more happy to work in a stressful environment already created through this pandemic. When change can be very disorienting, we have to engage more people and more trainers to work on the work environment. And the best way to transform an environment is gamification. And to talk about the gamification, I would be very pleased to present to you my colleague and my friend, Mr. Ahsen Qazi.
Greetings from Ahsenqazi. So thank you very much, Kashif Saab, for this introduction. And I was here for the KLIBEL 7 as well. So this is my second time to be on the KLIBEL. So this is KLIBEL 23, and I would like to thank everybody so that I am participating in this event. And I'll be talking more about work gamification and how it could transform your work environment to give you all the benefits of work gamification. So there's a lot of hype about gamification. People don't understand what it is and how to use it correctly. So let's talk about workplace gamification and why we should gamify our work processes. According to a Gallup survey, less than 20% of the workforce is engaged in the work. So that means 80% of the workforce is disengaged in the daily work. So what a waste of resources, what a waste of time and energy. We have a tool to fix this, and that is workplace gamification. So let's talk more about what workplace gamification is and how we can use it. What is work gamification? There are many definitions of work gamification, but I'll be particularly talking about work gamification. Work gamification is a process you set up to gamify your work processes which are in your organization. You would gamify those processes to get higher levels of engagement, more productivity, more fun, and it's a win-win situation for everybody. Using this work gamification, you can gamify the work processes so the management is happy, the employees are happy, the management get what it wants, and the employees are more engaged and they have more fun while playing and also enjoying the work. You can have fun and achieve more at the same time. So it's more productivity and more fun at the same time. So how does this work? So if you remember, once you were a kid, once you were playing a game, you forgot how much time you spent on that game. You forgot everything, and you were lured into that game. You had that feeling of euphoria and excitement. All right, you wanted to play that game. The same emotions are utilized in workplace gamification, and using those emotions, we set up processes so that you can have more fun and more productivity at the same time. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. By being involved in the work, we can have less stress, so people are engaged more in the work. People have a sense of belonging to the work they are doing. So as you know, we are facing a global pandemic of the coronavirus. It's all around the world. So work gamification can detach those negative feelings and can give you a sense of belonging so that people are more attached to their work. They have their goals, they have objectives set up, and they can get rid of all those negative emotions which are lying in their mind. By being engaged in the work, people feel more valued. They have reduced levels of stress. So the same concept is work gamification. Once you gamify the work processes, people have more motivation and more drive to work and achieve their targets. Gamification can also be used in the learning environment. It can be used to learn more in a shorter amount of time by enhancing the learning experience. How does work gamification work? We have a game called Performancia from Performance. While playing this game, you can set up the right processes. You can modify the existing processes by playing this game to have more levels of engagement, to have higher productivity. The first step to playing the game is setting up the goals and objectives. Once you have set up the goals and objectives, then you need to have the right behaviors. So the right behaviors with the objectives, then you need to find the right emotional drives which you need to accomplish those goals. After you have those things set up, then you need to find the right mechanics and the right resources which will help you achieve those goals. And then you need the right partners, if they are in your company or it's a different company or it's a cross-departmental type of thing. You need the feedback mechanisms. You can use different types of feedbacks to get higher levels of engagement within the company or in different companies. Work is a notoriously boring task for many individuals. So we can change this by using workplace gamification. Work gamification enhances the level of engagement and employment of the employees. The playground is a classic example of the elements of gamification. The environment is safe and the players are challenged in a safe environment to do more. If we can introduce the same levels of engagement and fun from the playground to the work environment, we can have higher levels of engagement in our work processes in a controlled manner. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. We can have more fun and more productivity, and everybody wins in this way. One of the easiest ways to gamify work processes is by using points, leaderboard, and badges. And badges have been used in the armed forces to signify, to gamify work, and to have high levels of engagement. And you can get points for completing a meaningful task, which is important for the company. A leaderboard is a classic example where employees compete to be on top of the leaderboard. So, all employees are given a fair chance because the leaderboard is reset on a weekly basis. So, in case if somebody is leading in 1 week, on the second week somebody else also gets a chance, and there's a fair competition for everybody. The good thing about such a process is we can have instant feedback which enhances engagement in the employees. The effort you put in is proportional to the reward. So how much you put in, you can get that out in the form of gamified work processes. Gamification in the work environment can employ different mechanisms of points, leaderboard, and badges. And then these can be combined with different stages so that you can have higher levels of engagement and more fun while working in the workplace.